Hi, Alex here from Rebeloper.com and welcome back to the Christmas calendar tutorial series. And in this lesson, I will show you how you can use and create discardable result functions. Now, what is that? Well, let's dive into the code. Okay, now if you have taken a look at the previous video, you have seen some strange functions and they are called discardable result functions. Now I want to show you how you can create one and how you can use one in this video. Go ahead and take a look at the previous video about shared keychain in Swift if you don't know what I'm talking about here. But if not, then just stick around and you will see what this is all about. So let us just create a discardable result function. So first of all, let's create a new Xcode project and go to File, New and Project. And I will use my very own single view application. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and click the link down below to get the resources for this video and the other YouTube tutorial videos. And you will find there a link where you can take a look at the YouTube video where I explain how you can create your very own single view application. Now this one removes the main.storyboard altogether. So let us just create this. Great. I will have the root view controller as the root view controller. Let's click on next. Let's create a Git repository and I will create these new folders. Yes. Let's create a new one with code. There we go, and let's create that. Okay, let me just resize this so you may see a little bit better as usual. Let's jump into the view controller and let's talk about the example that I am going to show you here. Well, let's say that you want to save the percentage of something, some data or something like that. The idea is that you want to save the percentage of something in the user defaults. Now, how would you do that? Well, first of all, let's create the set function and you would go something like this: set and value. And it will, let's say it's an integer, so no need to bother with doubles. Okay, and you would go user defaults dot standard dot set, and let's select our int here and value for key, and I will add in here for key again and key, and it will be a string. Let's just copy this key here. There we go. And maybe this is not necessary, but you could synchronize the user defaults. Synchronize. Okay, what this means is it synchronizes automatically, not when the system sets this to be needed. Okay, now for completion's sake, let's add a new function to get our value, get for key, and I will let it be like this for key, and key, it will be of type string, and we will return our integer here, and oh, sorry about that, and we will return user defaults dot standard integer for key, and the key is our key. Now, pretty straightforward, right? Basic user default stuff. Now, let us just use all of these. So let's say we want to set and the value. First of all, let's create our value and key. So let value, and let's say 50, because we want to set it to 50%. And the key will be, let's say, percentage. Okay, so how do we set this? We just add set value, and for key, the key. And that is pretty straightforward. Now let's just get our value and print it out so we may see that it actually worked. So let percentage equals get for key. Pretty straightforward, and now let's print it out. I'm sure that you are bored by now, but bear with me. You will see what I mean and why this needed to be done, so you may understand discardable results. Okay, so let's build and run and see the console log. Okay, because now we should see percentage. There we go. It says percentage 50. Okay, that is pretty straightforward and not so nice. But what happens if we add in here 150 and build and run again? Well, you guessed it, it will say percentage 150, but there is no such thing as 150%. But let us just go ahead and fix this. So what we would do here is in the set function, we would go about checking the value. So if value is greater than equals and the value is less or equals than 100, then we would go ahead and save this to the user defaults. So let's go ahead and now let's set this to, let's say, 20% and build and run and see if we do get again percentage 20. There we go, percentage 20. But if we set this to 120%, that is not possible. So we should not get anything but the value of the other. Again, percentage is 20. Well, we could add in here some logic to erase, but yeah, that is it. We are not saving to our standard user defaults. Okay, now that is nice and dandy, but all of this needs to be done here. Maybe we could add here an else statement and print out invalid percentage, but that is cumbersome and it is inside this set value. Maybe we want to use it as a general one. So this is where discardable results come into play. So let's delete this else statement, and what we want to have here is return a value, a bool value, if this value succeeds in setting it into the standard user defaults, then we return true. If not, then we should return false. So let's add in here a bool. And now, of course, it will complain that we need a return statement. Okay, if the value is synchronized, then we return true. And if not, then we just return false. Okay, and that should take care of the return, the missing return thing. And it says here, result of call to set key value for key is unused. And of course, that is because we are having a bool value. So what we would do here, and let's go through the old way of doing it, or the more cumbersome way, is that we let a result equals to set value, and if we do have, so if let result, or rather yet not let, we are not going to unwrap it, if result, and that is true, that we should print out, or rather yet get the percentage and print it out. Let's copy and paste that in here. Else, then we should just simply print out. Okay, so that is how we would go about it. And as you can see, there are a lot of code here. Let's just test this out so we may see that this really actually works. Okay, and we should say that we have tried, not tied, tried to set invalid percentage. Let's check and see if 30 works okay, and of course it will work okay. And then we can move on to setting this function to a discardable result function. And there we go, percentage is 30. Great. Now we want to omit all of this, so let me just comment this out and go it another way. First of all, we are not going to use this new constant and then check for it. We are going to use this bool value right away. And let me just type in here, and this is where the magic comes from, at discardable result. Now this function, this is now a discardable result, which means that we could unwrap it or get the value, the return value of our set function, but we could not if we chose to. So now we can set this as follows. If, and we are just setting it, this value for key, the key. If this is true, then we will, let me just copy all of this out, so the typing will be much faster. So if it is true, then we are going to print out percentage, else we are going to print out tried to set invalid percentage. And as you can see, we are already one line shorter than we need to, and this result is not set. So let me just build and run, and we should see the same outcome, but now with our discardable result. There we go, percentage 30. Now let us just set this to, let's say, 320 and see what we get in the console log. Again, there we go. Try to set invalid percentage. Now that is one use case for our discardable result function. We could return something else here and use it in our code. It depends on your use case. Now I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, go ahead and click the like button and subscribe to the channel, and of course hit that notification bell. Now it is your turn. Go ahead and comment down below how would you use otherwise the discardable result functions. Go ahead, I am really interested in your opinion. Now I will see you in the next video.